Germany, UK, the Czech Republic and more. Europe has erupted in protests in the last few weeks. There is one cause that binds all these protests together: skyrocketing energy prices. Almost 7 months since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon, many citizens say they are running out of patience. Inflation in double digits, energy prices going through the roof, and above all, depleted savings are making survival difficult for ordinary Europeans. Experts say this crisis could break the backbone of Europe's economy. What's changed all of a sudden, you'd think? First, a slew of sanctions on Moscow by the West ended up boomeranging. Then, Vladimir Putin decided to cut off gas supplies to Europe, a continent that traditionally has heavily dependent on Russia for its energy needs. So what's exactly happening on ground, and what can one expect further? Let's find out. Let's take this country by country. The UK first. Newly elected Prime Minister Liz Truss faces a massive test just as she takes office. This as the Don't Pay movement has gathered over 1 lakh supporters since it began in June this year. The strike, simply put, has just one aim: boycott the payment of high energy bills. The movement is expected to have 1 million supporters by the 1st of October, the date when household bills are set to skyrocket. A government official quoted in the Financial Times called the strike quote-unquote irresponsible, warning that things may complicate further if such a boycott takes place. Activist Martin Lewis, quoted in the same article, said, and I quote, "Once it starts becoming socially acceptable not to pay energy bills, people will stop paying energy bills, and you're not going to cut everyone off." End quote. Second, the Czech Republic. Approximately 70,000 people took to the streets of Prague on Sunday, calling the ruling coalition to bring energy prices under control while criticizing the European Union and NATO. The protesters also called for the resignation of Prime Minister Petr Fiala, slamming the nation's quote-unquote Western-oriented policies. Third, Germany. A 3,000 people strong rally was organized by the Socialist Left Party in Leipzig on Monday, a city with a historical significance of its own when it comes to protests. The protests took place soon after Chancellor Olaf Scholz unveiled a $65 billion plan to help households cope with the crisis. However, the Germans have refused anything less than a resignation as a hot autumn looms. As one organizer of the protest put it, and I quote, "Germany is in chaos. How will we survive?" End quote. The winter is approaching. The European Union is in a race against time to find a way out of this mess. On its part, the bloc has assured that it will take both short-term and long-term measures to bring down energy prices. Experts say these measures could be a tall task given the varying usage of energy across Europe and its tight finances. This, as citizens continue to hold protests, demand answers from their political heads, and are calling on their governments to walk back on the sanctions regime against Russia to ease prices. A survey result has brought to light possible repercussions of this crisis. Conducted by pollster YouGov in 4 countries, France, Germany, Poland and the United Kingdom, the survey showed more than 50% people are worried about a social unrest breaking out, with Poland highest at 75%. On the cost of living front, about 60% in each country said they have to cut down their expenses because of this crisis. 2 main points emerge from this. First, Europeans have hardly any trust left in their governments to solve the crisis. Second, a majority of them believe that the crisis won't end anytime soon. Do you think the simmering protests across Europe will intensify in the coming weeks? Do let us know in the comments.